Hello my friends, welcome back to Star Citizen. As we get started, we are going to look at some new things today. We have 3.19 has been officially released, and there is an event going on, the Invictus Week, which means for the next 10 days, there will be a free fly event. So more on that near the end of the video. So looking at this, there are some new missions. We now have salvage missions in the game, which means you can actually purchase claim to a ship that has been destroyed, and you can go salvage anything you want off of that ship and then call it good. Additionally, they installed at least a basic concept for a tutorial in the game, and it goes through a lot of basics like how to get out of the bed, how do you work your way around the room, how to focus on things, and also it even taught me some new things. Like, I didn't know that this focus button was even a thing. Like, what you do is you hold F and then you middle click on something and it focuses you in on it, zooms you in really easily and quickly. That's kind of cool. And not too surprisingly, you go through the various basic steps of like walk forward, turn your head, and yada yada yada. It's you know, the usual little things. And they allow you to progressively do things. Like, I couldn't exit until I completed certain tasks, which this task was eat and drink food. So here we go. It was kind of interesting to go through, even though I already knew what was going on. This was, I did the tutorial mainly to know what is it that new players are going to have to go through, or can go through, if they want to kind of get a feel for the game, because there's really no instruction beyond this point to help you understand what you need to do with the game. A lot of it you can find in YouTube videos, but also you might find a bunch of kind of junk or not useful information. It's also possible that the information will be outdated, and this tutorial is kind of a new way to introduce people in a way that CIG will kind of control and help make sure is relevant in the future. Now, to do the tutorial though, they set this up only in Area 18, and that means that Area 18 becomes your home station for at least this playthrough, and you won't be able to change your home station if you wanted to be somewhere else like Lorville or in Microtech or something like that. So there's a few little things that you might have to kind of bite the bullet on, but man alive, they change and update some textures. I thought it was only going to be in Lorville, but even Area 18 here on ArcCorp got a little bit of an update. Like, some of the stuff is very familiar, but when the trams started to move, I was like, oh wait, holy cow, there's more trams. And I kind of knew those were coming because they opened up the Invictus Week conference center. So there was going to be more trams. But then I was surprised to see this. Like, they changed the flight path of going to the spaceport. And I was like, holy cow, there's a couple of buildings that they moved as well. So even the skyline in Area 18 got a little bit of a kind of scrub and got some love, you know? It was kind of cool. And the area where you claim your ship has changed. Or not claim your ship, but withdraw your ship so that you can use it has changed a little bit. It used to be over by a pillar near the entrance of this area. Now it's spread out next to the elevators. That's kind of cool, and they even provided more stations for us to use. Now that's kind of cool. Now I'm not gonna go through and spoil the ending for you for the tutorial. The tutorial is approximately 30 minutes, and there's not really a great ending to it, but you know, I'm gonna leave it a little bit to chance here. Let's go ahead and shift gears and talk about the new feature of being able to remove stuff from a ship. Now, I found this ship abandoned, and this was before a tiny little rule change in armistice zones happened. I was able to use my tractor beam in this area, and for some odd reason, when I logged on today to do some additional recording, I couldn't use my tractor beam in armistice zones anymore. I don't know what's up with that, but it's also making trash start to pile up, which I used to kind of throw trash over the edge to where it would just despawn at the center of the planet. But I found that if you hit the right Alt and K, you can unlock the modules for the ship. And in the case of this ship, I was able to remove the gun entirely. And I also took a few other things just out of testing. And I took it over to my ship and I sent it off or I not sent it off, but I took it with me and I sold it in a shop on Area 18. It was kind of cool. So that was really fun. Now, let's talk about Invictus Week. This is what's going on the 19th and 20th, which I'm publishing this on the 20th, so we're already losing a day. They're doing some free ships that you can claim for a period of time. I don't know what the period is yet because, lo and behold, it's the 19th for me right now, and they haven't opened the event while I was filming. So I don't know what to say about that. But this is the web page that they're announcing this with. They show off a whole bunch of fun ships and a new freelancer style that has multiple extra rockets. It's kind of cool. And this little guy, wow, he's really fun. They also have this wonderful page going through and detailing what's going on with the Invictus Launch Week. And I just scroll through the information here for you. You can see what ships become available and what days. We have all the way to the 30th of May to have free fly opportunities with all of the ships that are being shown. Admittedly, I find that myself, I'm a lot more interested in the cargo-based ships, so those are the ships that you'll see me fly. But here is all sorts of fighter ships, cargo ships, even ground vehicles, even the ground tank, I think, is shown in here at some point, and some new ships that we get for the opportunity to experience and potentially buy. And speaking about buying one of the ships, I actually bought one, and I'll tell you about it at the end of the video. But here is some very important information. This is a number you want to write down, star ZZ3TY5ZS. If you use this while signing up during this period between now and the 30th of May 2023, you can get an extra 5,000 credits when you sign into the game. This will also be helpful for like upgrading your ship or, you know, buying a little bit more cargo. The ships that are going to be free to fly are really going to be available for a short period of time. I've seen a couple of times where they were available for a week and sometimes where they're available for 48 hours or something like that. And all you have to do is walk up to the ship and it will offer you a chance to rent it, quote unquote, but you rent it for free. So that's kind of cool. Now, the skyline going to the convention center is so pretty that I just felt like it was worth showing you guys this as we fly towards it. Again, remember to use the referral code above to get 5,000 extra credits. I'll leave this referral code also in the description so that you have the chance to not have to like dig through the video to get to it. But here's the cool thing. They're also providing, wherever you decide to start in the system, the Stanton system of the game, they are providing an Aurora ship for you to use during this period so that you can, you know, get to the convention center here on ArcCorp at Area 18. And look at that beautiful, beautiful convention center. They did a good job of this. Let's take a quick walkthrough of it as we approach it, and I'll just keep in this third-person view for the fun of it. But what they did here is just about as pretty as the IAE event they did in November. That was really fun. And now we've got Invictus Week. This is cool. And again, if you have been any way, shape, or form interested in this game, these free fly events are awesome opportunities to really choose to pull the trigger or, you know, decide to go with a different game. That's always a possibility. But personally, I find myself so very much interested in Star Citizen and the content therein, even down to the point where I have started working on trying to organize my funds to maybe buy a Vulture and try out the wonderful... I hear lots of really good comments about salvaging. So I've got to give this a try. It's on the edge of my mind. I really want to try this. And so I'm going to buy a Vulture eventually. And this is where you would go into the convention center. But lo and behold, you know, when I was filming this, the only option was to stay here in the lobby. What are you going to do with that? But now, let's talk about the new Snub Fighter. Just before I go up to it, I had to admire the beauty of the skyline in this. This is Area 18 still, just outside of Area 18. But here's the Snub Fighter, the Miral Fury. Oh my gosh, this thing is sweet. even if it doesn't have a quantum drive, which means you will probably be teaming up with someone who will fly a ship into battle and then open up a cargo bay door or open up the flight bay door and let you out, and you'll become a protector for that person. This is going to be a fun little ship to act as support for maybe salvagers who are doing salvaging jobs. You know, you fly around. I was looking around inside, and in the power modes, it has a cloak. I don't know how the cloak works yet, and it's got some really cool things. It reminds me of almost like what would happen if you just took all the main components: power supply, shield generator, life support system. I don't know if you really need a gravity generator for this thing because you're just sitting in a seat, but you know, avionics and all sorts of stuff, and just stuffed it in a trash can, stuck a bulb on the front, and said, let's go. It seems like the handling on this thing is insane. At full speed, it doesn't seem to really fight me as I try to turn and everything like that. It's like, this thing could really be awesome in a dogfight. I didn't get to test the weapons because I was in an armistice zone, but I will get to testing those very soon. And this ship is currently $50 on the pledge store, and it comes with the coveted LTI, the lifetime insurance. Guys, I hope you take advantage of the free fly event and get to know this game a little. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. Have fun.